Testing, testing. Okay, I have seemingly been able to get my stream to work. Let's do this. I've had so much technical difficulties tonight. It's not even fun. Right. I think we're good. Hopefully. I was trying, well, I'm trying to operate Streamlabs to give my live stream a better look, and not sure that it's doing the job, but we shall see. We shall see. So obviously, if you saw the title of today's video, it's very specific something that I want to do, which is I want to go ancient debris mining. And to do that, I need to go to the Nether, which is this building over here, which is a sneak peek of my upcoming video that I'll be releasing. It's the finished farmhouse, and I love it, and I think it's fantastic, but I do need to strip back some of my copper. Has oxidized a little bit, and I need to strip that back. Hopefully the stream is running smoothly. I'm looking over at it on my phone, and I think it's doing okay, but please let me know if it's not. Chuck it in chat. Just say, hey, Bogling, your stream's not working, mate, and I will try and fix it. Alright, I want this to be the kind of brownie colour, because that helps with giving it that corrugated iron look, which is what I want the roof to be. That is why I need it to be that colour. But unfortunately, I don't have any beehives set up yet, and have no way of getting honeycomb to keep it in this very specific colour. Anyway, I'm really anxious now. My internet dropped out, my heater stopped working, and it's cold here in Australia. It's just into winter and it's cold. My heater stopped working, my internet dropped out, Streamlabs wasn't working, my microphone wasn't working. You probably would have heard at the start of this stream. And yeah. Hello, El Muodo. I'm butchering the name, but El Muodo Gaming. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Do I like cricket? The sport? I would like to play it. I don't watch it a lot, but it's a good sport. I don't hate it. I like the scoring system. I don't like watching it. I'm more of a footy kind of guy, or better than that, a crime TV series kind of guy. But I don't have anything against cricket. Do you play? Do you watch? What's your involvement with cricket, mate? And we have a decent cricket team as well. That's another thing that I should throw out there. What am I looking for? I'm looking for some more food. I think I've got a few hay bales. Wonder if I've got any potatoes growing. I do. I'd like some cooked potatoes. That'd be nice. I'm also hoping that my Streamlabs settings aren't over the top, and hopefully the notification doesn't come through too loud. I might pause while I cook some potatoes and just adjust it down slightly. Make sure that you viewers get the best experience. It's Augusto Goseco. Welcome to the stream, mate. Hope you're having a lovely day. I am getting some food to set out for the Nether to do some ancient debris mining, which is very exciting. I haven't done it yet in this world. I think I have a little bit of ancient debris, but not enough. So that's going to be a bit of fun. The Nether's always a little bit scary for me, but we'll make do. It's not as bad as one of my previous live streams where I did a bastion and a Nether fortress. This one should be fairly straightforward. Let me check my settings. Alerts, let's just turn that down to 50% instead of 100%. And that should be better. Back to full screen we go, and we can, yeah, I'm gonna run out of pork chops. So, yeah, don't want that to happen. Now, I've got a bundle full of random junk, which you love to see. This should be funny. Yep, that makes sense. That I need, that I need, that I need. That's all stuff that I use for content creation. The rest of it, don't really think I need. But what I do need is to upgrade my storage system soon. In fact, I would say I need that rather desperately. And I am working on it. If you've been following along with my live streams and Minecraft Bedrock Homesteading episodes and whatnot, that is resin, not copper, then you would have seen this silo, and I'm slowly working away on the inside. So, happy days. That's looking a bit better. We've got a few baked taters now. So let us set off. Obviously my pickaxe is a little bit damaged. It's not got a huge amount of durability left, but we'll heal it up in the Nether as we go by getting some quartz. As long as yes, I do have mending on it, so all good. Last time I used the Nether portal to go to the Nether, it was sitting in the middle of a field, so it's nice to have actually have something built around it. Ow. Ow. Excuse me. That was rude. I don't need that, and I don't need that. So let's just work our way down. And I'm just going to change my settings slightly, because it looks like I'm struggling slightly. So let's change it down to 15 chunks and simple graphics. And that should help smooth things out a little bit. And efficiency 5 on my pickaxe is going to make this absolutely great fun. I'm going to be like a jackhammer, and it's going to not be very fun at all. I lied. All right. The biggest thing that we're going to have to watch for is lava. Any lava that we encounter is going to potentially be problematic. Although I do have armor is enchanted. Blast prot, protection 4, fire protection 4, protection 4. Yeah, so I do have 1 level or 4 levels of fire protection on my armor, and that should hopefully keep me safe. Just looking over at my stream because it looks like it'll keep me safe, but I don't think it'll keep me safe from a massive lake of lava. Let's just go this way, I guess. Looks to me like my stream's running okay, so that is good news. I'm always pleased with something like that. Obviously I'm running actions and stuff today as well, just for a bit of fun. And looks like I can go down again now. I don't really run actions and stuff when I'm recording, but it's a bit of fun. It's a nice pack. It's a nice add-on, or resource pack, or behavior pack, or whatever you want to call it. Texture pack. I think texture pack / behavior pack is, I think, what it's officially called. So it's nice. It just gives a bit of depth to movement without being too crazy. They lined that up perfectly. Nice. So we can keep going down. This man does not look happy. And he's very not happy now because he's dead. Sounds rude, but it's the truth. Oh, I forgot I had Silk Touch on my pickaxe. That is not on my pickaxe. Silk Touch on my shovel, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, this is what I was worried about. Is this kind of lava. Ow. Now let's keep going down. I'm just having to be very slow while digging this staircase, so that I don't sort of just mine the whole of the nether into oblivion with my efficiency 5 pickaxe. But once we get down to the bottom, which I think, actually, I don't want to be at the bottom, I want to be at my favourite level to mine netherite on, or ancient debris on, is level number 12, which is this level right here. So now, if our enchantment screen gets out of the way, we can just fire away. Let us depart. Now I am going to mine whatever quartz I stumble across, because that is how I'm going to heal my pickaxe. And who knows, I might need that for something later on. Knowing my building habits, quartz could come in handy. I think I need to go back onto Bedrock Tweaks and get translucent tooltips as a visual change, because switching off is fine. Switching back onto my enchanted gear is very, it really gets in the way. Like, I know what enchantment my gear has, and I would like it not to take up half my screen telling me what I have. But such is life. We make do with what we've got. Yeah, so hopefully this doesn't take too long. I want to get netherite for there we go, there's the first ancient debris. I want to get ancient debris for my armor and my tools, and hopefully that doesn't take too long. I'm going to change the ancient debris to this one so that we can, actually I'm going to change it to that one so that we can keep track of how much we've got. And you've got to mine all the way through, boggling. Don't just stop halfway. So hopefully this doesn't take too long. For my armor, I'm going to need 4, 8, 12, 16. And then I'm going to need that again for my tools. So 16 and 16 is 32. So I'm going to need approximately 32 ancient debris. But if I could score a little bit more, I don't think I would say no. Because then I can make either backup armor or like a fortune, silk touch pick rather, and just have generally happy days. So yeah, it shouldn't take too long, I think, but famous last words, it'll probably take forever now. And that's okay, because we shall succeed in gathering ancient debris through the power of friendship. And that's exactly why I'm live streaming it rather than just sitting on a podcast or an audiobook and mining away. Now I think, if I remember correctly, 12 is a good level to mine ancient debris at, because it puts me below any lakes of lava, but above any bedrock. So I don't want to be hitting bedrock all the time. I was about to say there's some more, and then some lava was coming at me, so and check around. This is where having the super powerful pickaxe comes in handy, is because I can just munch through the walls like that to make sure that I've got all the ancient debris in the area. And thankfully I have silk touch on my shovel, because otherwise, if I had fortune, which I usually go with fortune on a shovel, actually I do know why. I usually go with fortune on a shovel because I use a lot of bricks in my build, and for that I need a lot of clay, and to get a lot of clay you need fortune, because you get higher drop rate of clay. So I usually go with fortune, but I've got silk touch, and silk touch is just so much better for gravel because I don't have to deal with any flint. And let me tell you, I already have more than enough flint. Flint drives me insane. It always clogs up my inventory, and there is absolutely no purpose for it in Minecraft other than a flint and steel and some arrows, which you can just get by killing a skeleton. So flint is one of those things, in my opinion, that really has no purpose and doesn't really need to be there. But anyway, what are you gonna do? I think it could be an interesting change to Minecraft if they removed the flint and steel crafting recipe. I mean, don't remove the actual flint and steel, because we need that to get like the nether portals to go into the nether, but make it so you can't craft it, but rather you have to find it in, say, a ruined portal. And I think that would fit with their Minecraft's MO of exploration, really encouraging the exploration. Now is, yes, that is my quartz recipe. So let's just do that, and we can make quartz blocks, and that can go in the bundle, 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 and we're just gonna have to keep sorting our inventory lots today, because it is gonna get clogged up full of netherrack. But I want the gravel. If I start throwing out gravel, please yell at me in the chat, because I want the gravel for making paths. I'm using a mixture of path blocks, coarse dirt, and gravel to make my paths for my homestead. And I need all the gravel that I can get, both for coarse dirt and for mixing in some gravel. So yeah, make sure you yell at me if I start throwing it out, because I will probably forget. I imagine that by the end of this trip I will have more than enough quartz to last me a lifetime. One can hope. I haven't been to the end. I should probably do that soon. So no shulker boxes, but that's okay, we'll manage. I'll just convert the quartz into quartz blocks and grab some more ancient debris. I don't know what to go for, but I'm gonna just dig around, because that's a 3 vein. Any more? Does not seem to be. That's okay, a 3 vein will do. I think that the most I've ever got in an ancient debris vein was, I'm fairly certain I got a 9 vein before, but it was a long time ago, and it was in a realm with friends, and I remember just getting lots and lots of ancient debris. I don't know if a 9 vein's possible, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that. I love the fact that I'm putting disclaimers on what I may or may not have done in previous worlds. So that's fun. And ow. A few of my friends have issue with the fact that I keep my shovel on the hotbar, but to them I say you are wrong, and the shovel should always be on the hotbar. I am keen to hear your folks' thoughts, because in my opinion I've been playing like this, not forever, but a decent amount of time. I've been playing with my settings as sword, axe, pickaxe, shovel, food and clock, and that's just been the way that I've been doing it for ages. But what order do you put your tools in if you play Minecraft? Am I way out on a limb here to organize my tools like that? Let me know. Let me know if I'm way out on a limb and doing it all wrong. What is that? I think I hear another one. Yep. Luckily, I have a very semi-decent sword. It's not the best sword, that's for sure. It needs a bit of enchanting, but it is a very semi-decent sword. And I should probably finish enchanting that before I... Ow. Finish enchanting that before I netherite. That would probably be the smart thing to do, but we shall see. I also want to make sure I'm grabbing blackstone, because blackstone is great for building. I came for the ancient debris, and I'm staying for the building blocks, is apparently what I'm doing. I wish that these caves would stop. Just let me mine in peace, please. Before I forget, I'm just gonna pause for half a second and grab a sip of water. Alright, I have had my sip of water and I'm feeling refreshed but still chilly, given my heater, as I mentioned earlier, my heater failed, and so it's a little chilly. It's a little chilly where I am, but no matter, I'll manage. I've got plans to borrow someone else's heater, or rejig mine and use a slightly different one, but that's alright, I'll do that later. For now, I should be nice and hot because I'm in the nether, but unfortunately 4-dimensional gaming is not really a thing right now. I mean, I don't know if you would count VR gaming as 4-dimensional, given that you can feel the world around you, but you're not really feeling what's in the game, you're feeling whatever's in your room. So, who knows? I'm not gonna even open that can of worms. I am planning on, once I know how to set things up a bit better, doing maybe some poetry reading whenever people subscribe while I'm on a live stream, just for a bit of fun. I think that something like that could be fun, but I need to make sure that my live streams are up to scratch before I even attempt something like that. I would sing, but my singing voice maybe not the best, and plus there's the whole YouTube copyright thing, that old chestnut. But yeah, I think poetry reading I can definitely do because I can avoid copyright through public domain poetry. So that includes like Shakespeare and a lot of the older poets and whatnot. So I think that could be a bit of fun. But we shall see, said the blind man to his deaf dog. We shall see. I think once I've gathered enough quartz to heal up my pickaxe, I think it could also be good because I can then hopefully enchant my sword if I get enough levels from grabbing quartz. I can enchant my sword as well, but we shall see whether I get enough ancient debris before I hit level 35, say, or level 40. We'll see. You'll also notice I have this crazy method of strip mining where I strip mine and then I find ancient debris, and then when I've found ancient debris, I just mine the bejeebers out of the wall around it to make sure there's no more. I should probably grab that glowstone, whether it be for building or potion brewing. And lots of lava keeps falling on my head. And this is why whenever I'm playing Minecraft, I always prioritize at least some fire protection on my armor, because it makes a huge difference. It really does. We continue through this horrible red expanse. It's kind of interesting too, because obviously my Minecraft Bedrock Homesteading world, or my homesteading world, is not a hardcore world. It's a nice, chill, just survival world, because I wanted to focus on the simple things in life, which include farming and building and farming and ancient debris mining and farming and all terraforming and farming. So I wanted to keep it nice and simple for that, and so I decided not to make it a hardcore world. However, it's day 273 and I still have yet to die, and I'm inclined to say, hopefully without jinxing myself, I've survived a nether fortress and a bastion. I have fully enchanted gear, so I feel like my survivability rate is high, and I'm enjoying that fact. I'm kind of loving the fact that I haven't died on this world, even though it makes no real difference on the world itself. It's still a nice little bonus. So it gives me hope for when I decide to start a hardcore world, which I have no idea when that will be, but it's gonna happen eventually. I'm losing gravel. I need to be keeping gravel. Trying to keep an eye over on my YouTube feed as well, because I mean, my potato of a PC sometimes struggles to run Minecraft smoothly, and then I want to make sure that the live stream runs smoothly, so which it doesn't always do. That's why I had to change the graphics and stuff at the start of the live stream to make sure that it runs as smoothly as possible on my potato of a PC. And I'm gonna say I will be upgrading my PC somewhere along the line, probably after I win Tats Lotto. So there's that. I don't really have the space for gold. The gold nuggets are just annoying, so I'm just gonna pass them by and say sorry, folks. Where's them all? There's more. Ooh, and a third one. Can we get a fourth? Can we get a fourth? It seems like we cannot, which is perfectly acceptable. I will take a 3 over a 1 or a 2. Over a 1 or a 2, a 3 is better. I'm pretty sure Sun Tzu said that. I also don't like when I mean, they don't really do any damage to me with enchanted armor, but I still don't like hearing gas noises. It still makes me jittery. And if anyone's following along with my 60 seconds a day of hardcore shorts adventure, then just know that when the time comes, if I'm still alive and I get into the nether, I'm going to be really, really jittery and really anxious, and probably that's going to be where the adventure ends. But saying that pessimistically, I will see, and I have already gotten further than I thought I would. Look, I don't understand these random chasms. I really don't. Anyway. I plan to make my whole live stream ancient debris mining, but we'll see how things go. It might be a case of we get it done and then I get a few other bits and pieces and chores done. So if that's the case, whoop-de-doo. Still grabbing gravel, which there's a lot of gravel in the nether. I always forget about that. Make some more quartz blocks. Thank goodness for quartz blocks not being one of those things that you need a crafting table for. I'm very appreciative for the fact that you can craft inventory crafting table, or crafting grid. And if you've watched my videos or watched my content for a little while, you'll know that I'm one of those people who acknowledges that quartz can be made into blocks by placing it in a 4x4 pattern, and then tries to do the same with copper. I don't want to say all the time, but it is all the time. I grab raw copper and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course it doesn't craft, and I'm always disappointed, and then I feel like I made a fool of myself. So I mean, yeah, you'll see it now, you'll see it again in the future. It's not gonna go away, because every time I think I can do it, and every time I can't. Unless Mojang decides that they want to change the crafting recipe for copper. That's where it could alter. I don't know if I'm getting unlucky, but it feels like there's a lot of little pockets of lava. Like I feel like I'm breaking into a strangely large amount of little pockets of lava. Could just be my imagination, but that's what it feels like anyway. I also really like it when quartz reveals ancient debris, when you're mining quartz and all of a sudden you're like, hey look, that's an ancient debris mixed in. That's a nice feeling as well. It's also kind of a novelty doing this way, because normally when I go and get ancient debris, it's on a realm with a few friends of mine. And we go in and we're like, alright, we need enough ancient debris to make netherite, full netherite armor for all three of us. And we start mining, and then one of us does the inevitable calculations, and we go, my goodness, we need like 50 ancient debris. And then we're like, oh, and then we want some tools as well. And then we realize that we need like 100 ancient debris. And our gaming night that was going to be start off with ancient debris mining and then move into just mucking around and playing and adventuring and stuff is now 8 hours of ancient debris mining. We've done that plenty of times, and it's always one person. It's always one person gets stuck mining, and the other two muck around. Like, just it doesn't seem to ever change. It's just, that's just the way it's been and will always be. Unless of course a pickaxe breaks. If a pickaxe breaks, then we have to swap, but it all depends on whether we're fully enchanted by then or not. Alright, that is ancient debris number 15. Let's see. Yep, there's another one. Great. Number 16. Jackhammer the wall. Oh, that's a 3 vein. Can we go for a 4th one? The answer is no, but that's okay. I don't know why when I see 1, I don't think of, will there be 2? When I see 2, I don't think of will there be 3? When I see 3, I think, oh, is there going to be a 4th one? It's just strange. I'll try. Oh dear. Nope. Ow. Luckily, my resin armor trims looks like magma, and it's actually really funky, and I really like it. But I think it'll look even better on netherite. That was risky of me. I probably should have checked if there was lava. No, I'm a Minecraft noob. I know that ancient debris can't burn in lava. I know that. I'm also getting really lucky in this little pocket. Thought that was more for a second then. Okay, I'm up to 20, so we're doing well. We're doing well so far. This is happiness. What is not happiness is trying to manage my inventory. Ooh! I nearly missed this fella. Trying not to destroy all of the netherrack behind him. And that's why it took me 3 goes to get it, because I was like, I don't want to destroy all the netherrack. But I should just break the block and worry about that later. It is cold over here in Australia at the moment, and I am not displeased because it's been swelteringly hot recently. Like before, when it was summer, it was really warm. And just in the last few days, we've had a large amount of rainfall, which is great. Is really needed. All the farmers need that rainfall because they need the grass to grow, they need to be able to feed their livestock, whether that be cattle or sheep. But it means that my internet's been a bit patchy. Combined wind and rain means that my internet has not been the greatest. So hopefully it holds up tonight. It's not raining currently. It's a tiny bit breezy outside, but not raining. So hopefully my internet should be fine. But it wasn't really the internet tonight that was giving me most of the headache. It was a combination of setting up Streamlabs and getting the internet to work and getting my power to work and everything, and it was generally just really frustrating. I was like, I'm half an hour late for my own live stream. I said I was going to live stream at 9 and I'm here at 9:30. But, you know, technical difficulties like that, what can you do? And I spoke about it briefly on my 60 seconds a day, one of my 60 seconds a day of hardcore shorts, and said that my heater was trying to poison me. It malfunctioned and started blowing sort of very chemically fumes into my room. And it's a heater that I'm borrowing off some friends, neighbors, whatever you want to call it. It's a diesel heater, and it's great. It when it wants to warm, it really warms, but when it doesn't want to work, it does so quite dramatically. And in this case, it started belching toxic fumes into my room, and I had to clear out of my room for a day and a half and leave the windows open and everything, and it's like 5 degrees Celsius over here, and it was not fun having all the windows open, so I had to not be in here for like a day and a half, and that made it challenging. So then tonight it started doing the same thing. I'd run it lots since and it was fine. Everything was situation normal, and then I put it on and it started making a weird noise, and I thought, oh, I better go over and check this out, check my heater is working properly. And I looked and it was still making a funny noise, and so I stood there for a minute and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then it started belching fumes, and I very quickly switched it off and shoved the pipes that put heat into my room slash toxic fumes into my room. I shoved that outside and closed up all the doors and windows, or made sure I closed any gaps that were there, because I thought I'm not having this happen again. It happened once and it was annoying, but twice is just not a thing. I'm not happy for that to happen. So that was part of what slowed me down tonight as well. Which, all these things, being Australian, we love a good story. We love, I would say we love misfortune. Like, we don't love misfortune in the moment. In fact, we get quite frustrated about stuff like that. But anything that makes a great story afterwards, we're kind of okay with. Like, you know, you can, for instance, a little over, it must have been about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I think, perhaps, I hit a wombat with my car. It ran out onto the road in front of me. I was just driving along, minding my own business. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning and I was driving down a single lane country road. So I was coming back from a friend's place, and the wombat ran right out in front of me and stopped, and I couldn't avoid it because I was going at speed and it was a single lane road, so I couldn't swerve. It belted up my car like no tomorrow. It went straight into the front and took out my radiator and misaligned my wheels. It bent my axle. It generally just did heaps and heaps and heaps of damage, and I then had to go through the lengthy ordeal of trying to get the insurance companies to fix my car. I had to pay out a large amount because I was a young driver at the time. I'm not classified as a young driver, but I'm still a young driver, and so I had to pay extra. Ow, I've fallen in a hole. Had to pay extra, and then I had to go through, the insurance wanted me to send it to a specific insurer, a specific mechanic as well, and I was like, okay, I guess I've got a good mechanic right here that'll do it, but if we have to go through your one, then so be it. And then it ended up taking, I'm gonna say about 3 months, maybe longer, to get it fixed and squared away. It took forever. They had to take it and assess it and then give it back to me and then write up a report about assessing it and then say what needed to be fixed and then take it and fix it, and it was a whole hullabaloo ordeal, and very, very, very painful. I had to borrow one of my family members' car. I had to take their car and drive that to work for 3 months, and it really made things difficult for all of us. But it kind of makes for a great story now. Especially my favourite part is when I was on the phone to my insurance and I got connected with a absolutely lovely lady in the insurance call centre, and she was like, okay, you know, just talk me through what happened. And I went, well, I hit a wombat and it ran out in front of me, and I couldn't stop in time, and it's damaged my car, and my car's not drivable, and I need it fixed. And she went, all right, well, can you confirm that these are your details and blah 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 blah. And then she goes, is there anyone that we need to contact for this wombat? And I was like, excuse me, begging your pardon, what are you saying? And she's like, yeah, is there someone who's responsible for this wombat that we need to contact, or like a third party that owns the wombat that ran out in front of you that needs to be included in this process? And I'm like, lady, this is a wombat. I don't understand how you can think there's a third party that owns the wombat. Like, it's a wombat. It's a wild animal. And I was like, just out of curiosity, you're not here in Australia, are you? And she's like, no, I'm over in Africa. And I'm like, right, that explains it then. I'm like, do you know what a wombat is? And she's like, some sort of Australian animal. And I'm like, it is a little ball of... It's a little ball of death, to be honest. It is destroyer of cars, muncher of fences. It gives a lot of livestock mange. It's just a general nuisance. And I'm sure it fits into the ecosystem somehow. But I have no idea where, and I have no idea how. But they're just little balls of destruction. Little balls of destruction on legs. And they move with surprising speed. If you've ever seen a wombat run, when it's in a real hurry, you'll know what I'm talking about. But most people haven't, and most people are like, they've got stubby little legs and they're a ball and they can't move. But believe me when I say they can. And anyway, I said to her, oh yeah, you know, this wombat, no one's responsible for it. It's just a wild animal. It ran in front of me, and that's that. And she goes, yeah, remind me if I visit Australia, remind me never to drive around the roads at night. And she's like, does this sort of thing happen much? Do you hit wombats often? I'm like, well, me, no, I've never hit a wild. Well, I've never taken damage from a wild animal. But does it happen? Yes, it happens all the time. Every single person who lives out here in country Australia has hit various animals and has various stories of this kind of theme. We've all done it, we've all encountered it, and we've all been annoyed by it at one stage or another. And she's like, well, I'm never gonna drive around Australia then. I'm like, how is this surprising to you? You live in Africa, aren't there like lions and elephants and hippos and crap over there? But I didn't say that. That part was internal. So yeah, this is what I mean when I say that as Aussies, we're very annoyed by misfortune, but it makes for a great yarn afterwards. We'll be telling this sort of story for years and years and years after the misfortune happens. And as you can tell, some of us Aussies, we love a good yarn. We love to tell a bit of a corker. But I digress. I am still looking for ancient debris. Still chipping away at this, and we're getting closer. I'm at 26. I'd like to go a bit higher. I'm thinking maybe 40 might suffice, and then we can go back and potentially work on the silo interior, or plant out wheat field, or something. I don't mind. We'll work it out once we get there, but for now, I'm about to be burning in lava. And this, kids, is why you always keep some sort of building block on the hotbar when strip mining through the nether. I like to keep netherrack on the hotbar, and it comes in very, very handy. I think the random bits of soul sand must mean that we're in a soul sand valley. But I don't really understand how that soul sand ends up this deep underground. Nor, in fact, do I really understand the concept of soul sand. Like, it's like the souls of skeletons past? I don't know. How does it form? What's it like? Obviously it's got a bunch of screaming little faces on it, but why? What happened? How did 4 screaming souls get compressed into a single block? What happened? How do I let them out? That's the lore that Minecraft's not paying attention to. They're too busy with their happy ghasts, which I am excited for. Don't get me wrong. I'm very excited for the happy ghasts. But I do think that they could flesh out some existing lore, like soul sand and the nether. Like, for instance, other lore that I would like answered is, where did the ruined portals come from? The fact that there's gold swords and flint and steel and fire charges and gold armor and stuff in them, in the ruined portal chests, means that some sort of civilization or something had to have existed. Did the piglins build the ruined portal? And if so, why did they stop building the ruined portals? Why can they no longer use the flint and steel? These are the questions that I want the answers to. Was it Herobrine? Is Herobrine the answer in terms of canon? I don't know. And I'm sure no one has the answers, but I think it's fun to ponder these sort of storytelling questions. Being a bit of a storyteller myself, I like to expand. Like, I would say that before Steve inhabited this world, the piglins ducked in and out of the nether and had some sort of civilization built up, which is why bastions and fortresses exist, but they're kind of broken down and decrepit. And they travelled in and out of the overworld, and that's where a lot of the overworld structures come from as well, was the piglin race. And then eventually something happened. There was some sort of great purge, and the piglins broke the portals and retreated back into the nether. And maybe in the middle of that purge, something was taking the piglins from that was left in the overworld and turning them into soul sand, and that's where the trapped souls comes from. I don't know, but I like the idea of things like this. I think it's fun to think about where things come from. You might disagree with me, and you're more than welcome to, but this is a bit of fun for me. It's also a nice change of pace for me to have a fortune pickaxe, because normally when I head out ancient debris mining, I have a silk touch pickaxe, and I have to go and heal it up at an XP farm because I've got no way of repairing it in the nether. But this time I have a fortune pick, and it is actually fantastic because I can just mine quartz to keep it healed up. I think I should do this more often, but at the same time I do always need a silk touch pick. It's not a question of whether I need one, it's when do I get one. Because as a builder, silk touch is one of the most important things, because everybody needs stone. Let me slow down and hope that the tool tips get out of the way. There we go. There's another one. Ah, there's two. Fantastic. Let's go for a third one. Where's the third one? It does not seem like there is a third one. That is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Eventually we're also going to have the fun task of having to run all the way back along this corridor, which, believe you me, I've done that plenty of times as well, and that is less than fun. And that is where that extra stack of potatoes that I grabbed is going to come in handy, because so far I've managed on just the pork chops that I had left, but once I start sprinting, the food's going to be disappearing like nothing on earth. My nan always used to say that I had worms in my legs, and when it comes to running down tunnels, she may very well be right. You'll get used to Australians with our weird sayings of "should be right, mate," and you know, what else? There's so many that I say, but I can't think of for the life of me now. Oh no, actually, there's a good example. I walked into a kitchen the other day and looked at the person doing the cooking and went, "Oh, have we got any dead horse around here?" And she went, "Yep, over there by the fridge." And there indeed was a bottle of tomato sauce. Don't ask me why we call tomato sauce dead horse in real slang, but you may hear it called that every now and then. Not everyone does it, but I don't know. It's not the most uncommon thing. Just like seemingly caves aren't the most uncommon thing in this homesteading world either. Do I hear lava boogers? Hello? Oh, what? Why? Invisible? Invisible? Why? What? Why? Why? Okay, well I got it, but it was definitely invisible. I'm being attacked by invisible. This is my worst nightmare. Oh my gosh. I'm being beat up by invisible lava boogers. But why are they invisible? Why? It sounds like there's more. I'm just going up here, and I'm just gonna bridge across because this is actually scaring the life out of me. I hate lava boogers. Or sorry, I hate magma cubes all the time. They're one of the worst things in Minecraft because they will kill me all the time. But invisible ones is just plain terrifying. Maybe let's do the thing of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then let's just mine our way back. That might be better than dealing with the invisible lava boogers. This may lead to no ancient debris because we've already kind of exhausted the chunks, but it may also lead to some, so we'll see. That was genuinely one of the scariest experiences of my life. I was not at all happy about invisible lava boogers. I don't know if it had something to do with actions and stuff, but it ain't good, and I'd like it not to happen again because it's scary. I just had to blindly whack in front of me and hope that I was hitting them, and I did, thankfully, but it could have gone very badly. In fact, let me grab a sip of water while I'm mining. we are well on our way to getting the amount of ancient debris that I want. And in fact, I think this might be the first time I've ever mined ancient debris in a solo world. I don't recall getting netherite in a solo world. I played a lot of solo worlds, but generally I build a lot more. I don't really bother with the enchanting and the netherite because I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna run out of oomph eventually. But this one I'm really trying to go hard on, especially for the content creation. And so I'm really locking in and getting, like I've got my fully enchanted gear, and I'm grabbing netherite now as well for it, and it's all very exciting. I need to go to the end and get elytra, because elytra in a solo world is definitely not something that I do very often, if ever. It makes this stuff about my solo world makes it sound as if I don't play Minecraft very much. I play a lot of Minecraft, but generally I'm playing in a realm with friends. I've played a lot of realms. I've played realms with my friends, who I still play weekly with. I've played realms with my family. I've played all sorts of different things. All on Bedrock Edition. And this is where my kind of love and commitment to Bedrock Edition has come from, is the fact that we've always played on Bedrock Edition because some of my mates are on Xbox, and you know, some of us have PCs, some of my family's on PlayStation, and I love the fact that Bedrock Edition really lets me cross-platform play to the point where, you know, I can have fun with any of my friends. It doesn't matter what console they're on, or PC, or whatever. Whereas Java, you know, you have to have the PC. So that's why that's why I'm playing Bedrock, and that's why I'm keen to stick with Bedrock, is because I think Bedrock Edition is underrepresented. I know a lot of YouTubers play Java, but I just think that Bedrock deserves better. It's not a bad game. It's a little bit buggy. It's definitely different to Java, but some of the Java things make the game too easy. Like, you know, the Bedrock Wither and the Bedrock Ender Dragon are much harder than the Java ones, and I think that makes the game a little more interesting. But you know, a lot of people disagree with me, like, oh, you don't have an offhand, that sucks. And I'm like, well, I forget that I don't have an offhand. This is just how I play the game. It doesn't particularly matter to me because I'm just used to it. This is how it's been, and this is how it's continue to be. So if they were to add an offhand, I'd be like, crikey, this is fantastic. But in the meantime, it's not like I'm really missing it, because I'm just used to not having it. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Anyway, I am rambling a bit tonight, and I think that that's okay. I'm good at rambling, and rambling is fun, especially on a live stream. I had to go to work today. It was a Monday. It's still a Monday, but much later on a Monday. And I had to go to work today, even though it's a public holiday. It's King's birthday, and lots of people got a long weekend and a public holiday. But I worked yesterday, and I worked today because of the industries that I'm in. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. But it means you get tired boggling 10. And tired boggling 10 is a delirious and rambling boggling 10, which arguably is more fun for you guys. It's probably more fun for you guys, so we're gonna go with that. one thing that I am also very grateful for is the updated netherite texture. Netherite, my goodness. Netherrack. The old strip mining, the old netherrack was very, very painful. This new netherrack is a bit better for strip mining. I find that it doesn't hurt the eyes quite as much. You may disagree with me, and again, as I say all the way along, everyone is welcome to disagree with me. I'm open to opinions, and in fact, I'm more than open. I'm keen to hear different opinions, but these are my opinions, and this is my live stream, so y'all can suck it up, because this is my live stream, and I make the rules. I have surpassed the original amount of ancient debris that I went for. Originally, I think I said I needed 32. But I'm just going to keep working my way back. Rather than running down the tunnel or boring, I figure I might as well mine my way back, and that will give me a bit more ancient debris and a bit more happiness. It will also give me sadness with the amount of lava that keeps popping up, but that's alright, we'll manage. Stop trying to pickaxe. Stop trying to pickaxe the gravel and that, Boggling. You don't need to do that. You need to... I need to make sure I keep that stack of netherrack as well, for duplication purposes, because every time I throw out all my netherrack, and then I get back and I'm like, alright, time to duplicate the netherite upgrade template, and oh my goodness gracious me, I've got no netherrack to duplicate with. I do that all the time. Ooh. This is cool. That's 2, that's 3. Check around. Any more? No, but that's cool. In fact, that's more than cool. That's awesome. That is wizard. Alright, come on. We're on our way home, but probably not quick enough. I also need to sort out an armature for my helmet. Oh, into a cave I go. Yeah, that's where it was. So let's just duck in here. Go down this way a little. 2, 3, 4. Somewhere around here, really. Need to sort out an armor trim for the top of my head as well, because the rest of it is fancy and the helmet is unadorned, and that's okay. I don't mind that, but I think I'd like some sort of decoration for it. I just can't work out which one, and I don't have a huge amount of armor trims to choose from in this homesteading world, so I need to probably look and work out what I want to use, and then go and find it. I think I've got, off the top of my head, I've got some of the nether ones, I've got a couple of the overworld ones, I think I've got the trial chamber ones. Things that I need to do in this homesteading world include an ancient city. I need to do a few ancient cities. I need to do a trail ruin, go exploring and find a desert and mesa, because I haven't found that yet, and I need the desert temple ones. I need the guardian armor trim, so I need to find and conquer an ocean monument. I really enjoy the fact that Minecraft is such an open-ended game. I think it's absolutely fantastic that, you know, like one day I can be sitting here doing simple ancient debris mining. The next day I can be off gallivanting around the plains, riding a horse through the plains and over hills and adventuring. And then I can be down in an ancient city, fearing for my life against the warden, because I find the warden very sort of stressful, but in a good way. Like it's really fun trying to deal with like the horror aspects of that. And then, you know, the next day you can be building and creating whatever I want to create, and I love that. I love the way that Minecraft is such a versatile game. I'm happy for them to keep updating it, and adding more different bits and pieces to adventure and explore, and like the Happy Ghast is a fantastic update because it means that there's, you know, more to explore, but it's also adding to the building side, so it's a win-win. And I think they're absolutely going in the right direction with that. The one thing that I do find though is that you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't get into Minecraft, it's too boring. And I'm like, well, it's not boring. It's just limited by creativity, you know. However much you want to create, you can create. And if you're not a creative person, that's perfectly fine. Not everyone has to be a creative person. But don't complain about Minecraft being boring if you're not a creative person. Just go and find a game that you do enjoy. Because, you know, Minecraft isn't a bad game, it's just not for everyone. Just like, you know, I can't go over to a mate of mine. Actually, my brother plays a bit of Rocket League, and I get on a team with him and we play 2v2s, and I can see where I need to hit the ball with my car, but I can't do it because my reaction times aren't quick enough. And he goes, come on, Bogling, come on, you should be better than that. And I'm like, no, my reaction times just aren't as quick, and I'm okay with that. That's why I don't play a lot of first-person shooters and stuff like that. I accept that. I don't say that, you know, Rocket League or first-person shooters are bad. I just say, well, it's not really my cup of tea, so I'm going to go back to playing some Minecraft, where I can, you know, go at my own pace. And I think that's really important for people to realise. But obviously, you know, my live stream speeches will change the world. I'm sure that all you folks in chat will agree with me that my opinions will change the world. What will change the overall trajectory of this live stream is getting back to where I started from, because I must be almost there, and I have a really good amount of netherite. I've got 40 here. I use netherite and ancient debris interchangeably. It's not ancient. I've got 40 ancient debris, and I've got 3 ancient debris back at the starter homesteading house, I think. And then I've got a couple of netherite scrap as far as I'm aware. So somewhere in the vicinity of 44, which is should be enough for my armor and my tools, plus a little bit spare. So that is a good thing. And yeah, as I said earlier, this is the part where my food vanishes. I walked past ancient debris earlier and didn't even realize. This is also why it's not a bad thing to check the tunnel that you've already been down. Any more? Hello? 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 No. No more. But this does happen a lot. More so in caving trips, where I'm like, oh look, I ran past diamonds in this deep slate cave. That's sad. And then I grab them. But obviously it's the same in netherite mining or ancient debris mining. Hopefully I may have to come back here and do another run down the tunnel later on to pick up all of the blocks that I'm just leaving behind me. But that is a future boggling 10 problem. I think that I can deal with that later on, and that's not a big deal. It shouldn't cause too much lag because it's in the nether, which is great because it means I can run back to the overworld and just hang out there and forget that the nether even exists. And honestly, this isn't a bad haul. I think I started the netherite mining on day 274, 273 or 274. If anyone in chat knows, let me know, but I think it was somewhere around there. So it's not bad for let me check my watch. Yeah, a little over an hour, or somewhere around the 1 hour mark, as far as I can tell, with all the technical difficulties that I encountered when I started out. I kind of lost track of where the stream started and ended and whatnot. But that's all good. My clock is doing circles and spinning all over the place. I don't understand how clocks work in Minecraft. This goes back to that lore thing that I was talking about earlier. I don't understand how clocks work, because they obviously don't work in the nether or in the end. So what makes them work in the overworld? I'm sure there's no answer to these questions, but, you know, it's a bit of fun to ponder them nonetheless. I'm also making plans currently for oh, another ancient debris that I missed. Score. Making plans for when I hopefully soon I hit 100 subscribers. I'm going to do a bit of a build, commemorative sort of build in this homesteading world. So obviously, if you enjoy my content, please feel free to subscribe. I'm new to the whole YouTubing gig, but I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. I'm hanging out. I'm showing off my builds, and yeah, hopefully I can grow my channel and sort of step by step. I started out live streaming on Twitch, did that for a little bit, and then I come back to live streaming on YouTube once I hit the required subscriber count to be able to live stream on YouTube, and I think it's good. I like to keep my eggs in one basket, because obviously I work 2 jobs, and then YouTube and content create on the side. So Twitch felt like a bit too much of a, like, in order to achieve on Twitch you have to do it as almost full-time work, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to tell stories and muck around and have a good time. I want to make content all the time, but obviously with 2 jobs I can't. So YouTube allows a bit more of that flexibility, because I can, you know, jump on for a few hours at night after work and tell a story then. Whereas with Twitch, it's a bit harder to do that. So, oh, back it up. I missed another one. Man, I'm really bad at this, aren't I? I've missed a few, but that's okay. At least I'm spotting them on the way back. Trying not to make too much noise, because my dog is peacefully curled up on my bed in her fluffy blanket that sits on her side of the end of my bed, and she is nice and peacefully asleep, and I don't want to disturb that, because you know, sleep is important. I probably don't get enough of it, but that's right. Check for gas while I'm booping my way up these stairs. I heard magma cubes as well, but I'm not even going to go anywhere near that. I'm just going to keep moving, because I do not want to have to deal with more invisible magma cubes. Hello? 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 I thought there was an enderman there. I was trying to look at him. Leave me alone. I don't want to deal with your... And we're back. Happy, happy days. We're back. And that was much quicker than I anticipated, and I'm very happy about that. I'm not going to complain. But what I am going to do is go back and sort out my inventory a bit, and put some of this netherite or ancient debris onto smelt. Yep, so I've got 46 there. That is really cool. That's a lot of... that's just awesome. Let's put the quartz in this barrel, and then let's put the gravel in. The gravel's going to need a barrel of its own, so we can have this barrel. And then as for the rest of it, I think this is my nether chest. Soul sand, black stone. I said I needed to grab some netherrack. I actually lied. I did not need to grab netherrack. I have heaps. I always forget to grab it, and apparently in this world I've tried to not forget to have it, and now I have way too much. So into the compost pile it goes. I am not sure if netherrack will decompose, but hopefully. Alright, let's grab the glass out of the furnace. and chuck in the ancient debris. And I'm gonna need to grab some gold as well. Probably chuck that on in the bottom furnace. And while I'm waiting for that to smelt, I'll go stick the glass away. Which, again, I need storage. I desperately need storage. Turns out I have a glass chest right here. Glass barrel, rather. Alright, let me see while I'm doing this. 1 hour and 32 minutes. Happy days. I think, though, that rather than jumping straight into something else, I instead will make my armor netherite and then wrap up the live stream for tonight. Even though it's a short one, I have been really busy at work recently and I'm just struggling to keep myself afloat. So I think that's going to be the way to go. It's getting late, it's getting cold, so I'm gonna just stick with that as a plan. Let's upgrade the armor, and then I'll leave the tools for tonight, but I'll upgrade the armor. Maybe. I got those. Oh no. I can upgrade some of the armor. I don't have enough diamonds to upgrade all of it, which is sad. These cost an absolute fortune, so I need to keep one of those. And let's see, grab some more of that. I'm cranking out levels. And 1, 2. We can make some more later. Let's go with the chest plate and the leggings, and my goodness, I don't have a smithing table. Let's see. 1 of those. Make that. Make a smithing table. Place the smithing table just here. Place that in. Place that in. Place that in. Make that. Make that. And that looks really cool, in my opinion. That looks really awesome. The resin on the netherite kind of looks like magma is flowing, and I love that. I just think that's super cool. And I also think it's super cool to have netherite in a solo world, so there's that as well. But yeah, I'm gonna sleep, and then I think that's gonna do me for tonight. I'm sorry that it's a bit shorter. Unfortunately, technical difficulties kind of muddled me around, but next time I'll finish making this netherite and post about that in my next video, which should be out in the near future. And thanks so much for watching, folks. I look forward to, I'll try and live stream more often, so I look forward to that. And Uru.